Hey, did anybody see that? Did anybody see that post Eddie Jackson put out there?
I haven't.
Okay, basically he said that he's guaranteeing that he's gonna have one of the best seasons of any free safety. I mean any safety ever.
Mm.
Who do you remember saying that to you last week?
You said that.
I
You
told you.
kind of said that. You kind
Told
of said that in there. Yeah, you called that one.
Yeah.
When he listening to the show, you telling me Eddie listening to the show?
Hey man.
Or you tapped into Eddie? You tapped into Eddie's mind right now? Which is it?
Eddie's listening to Nomad.
Hey,
He's
man.
like, Nomad said I can do it. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It's on.
Hey,
It's on then.
hey, it's not hard to tell though. I mean, you
Mhm.
could after the description of what I'm telling you, you see that 1920 football drive, and you see those big, huge linebackers that we have
Man.
that move the way they move,
Mhm.
and knows they're gonna have a field day behind them. And
Mhm.
like I said, Eddie is a ball magnet anyway. You know,
Yep.
so he had that going for himself to begin with. Now you got guys that can get hands on balls and really serve them up to him, man. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if we were in the upper echelon, the upper tier of the league in turnovers,
Mhm.
and them being one of the key reasons being why.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely, man. Eddie feasts off tip balls, man, and he knows that all those long linebackers in the middle, these long corners that we have, it's going to allow him a lot more opportunities
Hold
to
on,
get
time.
his hands on some of those tip passes. I hear you, J2K. Yeah, I was waiting on it. I was waiting on it. Hey,
All right,
I
for
feel
anybody
like,
that can't see the show, J2K said BoJack heard Samuel wanted to trade him and had to respond. Hello.
well, to my defense, for anyone who didn't see the show, that episode of the show, I was just saying that, with Eddie being, towards the end of his career and still having value as an asset, maybe it's time to allow Eddie to go onto a contending team and, get some draft capital or something for him so that we could look towards the future.
Right, because
I'm not saying that Eddie can't play though.
It was asinine when you said it. It's asinine now.
Hey,
Hey, I'm with Samuel. I
hey.
got you back. I mean, I understand, we don't want to, just get rid of good players just to get rid of them. But considering his age, considering his contract, considering where this team is in development, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad.
What part about elite didn't you get? This when he is healthy, this guy is not. You can't just go to a store and say, "Hey, can I get a helper? I'm in aisle 7 at Walmart. Can you reach up there and get me that Eddie Jackson?" You don't just find that SHIT at Walmart. You don't just throw that away, man. He's elite.
But listen, it disappeared on us for a few years, right? That elite Eddie disappeared on us for a few years, and that's my fear. Is that if that ever happens again, then we don't get anything for him. He had a great season last season, playing before he got hurt, and I just think that a lot of teams would have inquired about him, especially if he hadn't gotten injured. Like a lot of teams would have been calling the Bears, like, "Hey, you know what? What you want You want this first round pick for Eddie? We are free safety like Eddie away because teams know that the guy can play." If he's healthy.
And remember, this is not baseball, not basketball, where, players go into their late 30s.
Mm-hmm.
When football players hit that wall, they hit it hard.
Yep.
And so, you don't want to take the risk of saying, all right, he's good now. We'll hope he's still good next year. It's like, well, he's good now. Let's do what we can for him now. Bring up another young guy and develop with this young core of a defense together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the only reason we say that.
Customer service on aisle 7. We need a customer needs an Eddie Jackson on the upper tier. We need to get him down for the customer. You can't find him.
29 years old. Dude's not even 30 yet. Y'all want to send him to the old folks home?
They nuts, man.
Well, he's about to be 30, and
like 30 is nothing.
32
coming off of
is over the hill.
The injury
coming off of an injury,
I agree with the injury as a concern, but
and let's just keep it real. So we want to keep it real right now. He also has tackling issues. All right, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. If y'all don't want to say it,
he didn't last year.
You can't have tackling issues as a free safety.
He didn't last year.
Well,
he didn't, but he also got hurt trying to make the tackles.
No, it was completely. That was a non-contact injury. Sam, stop that.
Yeah, that was not his best. Year before last, the defense we played that was not geared toward him. Mm-hmm. We went to the Eberflus defense, and Eddie bounced back. I'm not ready to give up on Eddie yet because leadership. We do need leadership. Yeah, in 29. Listen, being the senior member of this team at 60, I'm a little offended that y'all find 29 old.
Look, I'm not giving up on Eddie. Eddie, I'm not giving up on you, dog. I'm saying, go get your ring. Go get your ring, Eddie. I'm not saying I'm not giving up on you. I'm just
they some busters, man.
I'm waiting on the next Eddie.
Get your ring in Chicago. That's what you do.
Yeah, they don't appreciate you, Eddie. I'm just letting you know now, man. They some busters, straight up.
Now the thing is, as a fan, I appreciate his game. I want to see him ball out. But thinking, front office wise, we have to maximize the value of these players because now this is the business aspect of it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, Eddie's good. How long do professional free safeties last in this league at a high level? 31, maybe 32. How many?
There's mutiny in the chat, man. Y'all can't do Eddie like that, man.
Listen, man.
I'm an Eddie. They want y'all heads on a pike.
I'm an Eddie fan, but I'm a Bears fan first. And it just makes sense as a Bear. If I was a GM, that would make sense to make the Bears better going forward.
Hey, see,
I like Eddie. I'm an Eddie fan. I'm not saying Eddie's not a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good leader. He might miss some tackles there now and then. But hey, if I can get some money, if I get a first round pick for Eddie right now,
gone.
Get on him, chat.
Don't
let him get away with that.
We saw Monty. Monty's this leader that the locker room could not afford to lose. Now you're looking at this rookie Rojo coming in. It's like, hey, this kid's a leader. We looked at Roquan. It's like, oh God, we can't lose Roquan. Who's gonna be the leader? Kwani B stepping up. So there will be new leaders. There will be a replacement. It's just when.
Okay. So
and the time is closer to being here than it is farther away.
See, right. Samuel backing up. You ready to die on this hill. And so let's go ahead and give it to him. Let's give him what he's looking for.
I'm not backing up. I ain't backing up.
Samuel backing up. Okay.
I'm saying it is what it is, man. I like Eddie, but I'm saying, like, who will replace him? I see you, Jay Sanders. Who will replace him? That's a good question.
Exactly.
That's a good question.
Give me an answer to that, and then we can talk about Eddie Jackson not being on.
That is a good question. That's the one of the positions.
In camp. Because now we got the kid from Stanford. We got the kid Hicks from last year. You got a couple other safeties. Not saying that they have to be first round talent to beat them out, but if one of these young kids pushes Eddie to the point where it's like, yo, we can let Eddie go because these young kids are burning up his heels, then we got to keep him because he's a Bear. It's like, well,
let's say this. Hold on, Trip. Let's say preseason, Elijah Hicks, 2 picks. What is it? Tyreek, what's his name? Stevenson.
Wilkinson. The safety of the corner.
The safety.
That's Wilkerson.
Let's say Wilkerson gets 2 picks in the preseason. Both are playing pretty well in coverage in that deep zone.
I can't believe y'all still going.
Then what? Would you consider it then?
I'm gonna say this. Let me say this.
Would you consider it then?
I got this.
No, would you consider it?
In the preseason?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
In the preseason?
Hold on, Chris. I got a disclaimer.
I mean, that's the only time you're gonna know if they're playing well, right?
This is the disclaimer. Sambo and Triple R's views do not reflect the views. I'm telling you right now, they some busters.
Hey, man, I'm looking ahead, man. I'm looking for the future. I'm looking towards the future and building a better Bears team in the future.
Because in order to have to take the North and keep it, you're going to have an influx of young talent coming in.
Young talent. We can draft the best free safety next year in the draft early in the first round.
Hey, man.
Drafting them alone is not going to do it. They got to perform. To be leaders, they got to step their game up.
When you see Tiki George's behind Samo and his window and stuff,
hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
You already know. You already know.
We just talking, guys. We just talking.
Right. We talking.
Hey, y'all need to change the subject so I can go lay down again.
you have to.
The chat is going crazy right now too.
They should be, man. Y'all some buckets, man. I can't believe y'all, man.
Hey,
all that talk,
man.
all that descript, man. I have described how Eddie Jackson can make this defense elite in so many different ways. Y'all still talking about trading. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all nuts.
Man, because that's the value. The value, man. Think about the value in Eddie Jackson because of that, what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying, and that's what I'm saying. He's valuable for that reason. And I'm thinking about the future. We're thinking about the future. You're thinking about right now. You're thinking about this season. I'm thinking about sustained success.
Hey,
what sustained success means is, you have assets that you can go.
Cornelia said y'all views don't represent the chat either.
Hey. Hey, Cor. Y'all gonna hear me later now.
Hey,
now, one more point before my last point on this. Let's not be afraid to make a change just in case the guy that they changed to is better.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
We don't know what we have in the guys behind. Listen, man, you can't fall in love with players, man.
Hey,
you cannot fall in love. We're fans of the Bears team, not just the player, each player individually, man. So if a player has to move on, if it's the best for him and the best for the Bears, I'm all for it, dog. It's on to the next one. It's next man up, man. What they say, next man up.
CBP film just put it dead on the bullseye. Y'all ain't loyal.
That is, we're loyal to the team. We're not loyal to the team.
Y'all
loyal to the
team.
We loyal to the team, dog. We talking about building a better, stronger team.
Ungrateful
Bears team, not just having a player, an older player at that.
We drafted him, so he has to retire here.
No,
he's 29. He's not old. Don't say that.
All right, dog.
I wish I was 29.
Football years.
Hey, these guys do not represent the views of Nomad Network. I promise you that. We think different of Eddie Jackson, man. I can't believe y'all went there.
Well, nobody said that he's not good. We just said we need to maximize his value while he is good.
Why he's still good. Exactly. We're not saying he's not good.
Why you playing lazy boy GM, man? Sit down somewhere. You ain't got nothing to do with that business.
Wait. You say lazy boy GM as I lean back in my chair.
Man. Hey, you know what? That was a fun conversation, man. But let me be clear one more time, man. Eddie Jackson is going to have a Pro Bowl season. I think he's going to cement himself another contract with this team if he can stay healthy. And we're going to find out real soon here. I'm telling you, the fact that him being back there behind those two high caliber linebackers, plus Jack Sanborn, plus Sewell, or who's ever in that rotation, is going to pay dividends, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is his second year in a 4-3. Don't forget that too. He hadn't played in a 4-3 before last year. And when he was out there before he got hurt, he was on his way to a Pro Bowl season. Wouldn't you agree? Would anybody disagree with that? Was he not on his way to a Pro Bowl season
last year? Oh, yeah. Before he got hurt? Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was definitely on his way to a Pro Bowl.
So what you think gonna happen in year two?
I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, Nomad. That's what that's what y'all don't understand. I'm not saying that's not gonna happen. What I'm saying is, how long is that gonna happen? How many more seasons are we gonna see like that? He might have a great freaking season this year. Great freaking season, right? He might get 8 picks this season.
How do you know how old?
Do we think he's gonna get 8 the next year too?
How do you know how old Charles Woodson was when he retired? Anybody in the chat?
33, 34.
Okay. There you go. Some guys can play longer and have better attrition than others.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think Eddie Jackson has a lot of meat left on the tire. Why? Because he played one way, one style his whole career, and here came this new coach to breathe new life into him and another style of defense. He found his way through that and found his way around it and was able to shine somehow before that freak injury, a non-contact injury, took him out for the rest of the season. If he can stay healthy, he is going to be one of the top dogs in the league in takeaways. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you that right now. I don't want BoJack going nowhere. BoJack goes on, man. I don't even want to talk about it, man. I'm ready to move on from that subject, man. Because
we're gonna talk about it during the season. We're gonna talk about this all season, chat. Right, Trip.
Man, they ain't gonna never forget y'all for that, man.
Hey, just be prepared because Ryan Poles, he may come out and be like, all right, we have a long-term plan, and BoJack's not a part of it. You know, don't be mad. Just be like, let the GM do his GM.
Exactly.
Man,
and I can see it happening. That's all we saying is we can see this happening. We just saw
Eddie's going to earn another contract.
We saw what happened with Smith, Roquan, right? And we saw what happened with Monty, right? All right, now
team leaders.
Were they not team leaders, ballers?
I'm gonna say this one more time.
That's what I'm saying. It could happen.
He's gonna get a third contract. He's gonna put up that good. He's gonna play that well in this defense. He's gonna get another contract. He's probably gonna retire here. So I'm just gonna tell you that now.